In this video tutorial I am going to design this model. So first we are going to check the statement. So units are given in cm, which is in centimeters. So create the following model. You should have all the dimensions you needed to correctly create the model. Use the revolve to make the solid, but only use 300 degree. The revolve command, we are going to design this sketch and then we are using the revolve command. So first I am going to talk about the little bit concept of this revolve command. The meaning of the revolve is that something moving around a circle or something is moving around a center point or center axis. So as you see, the three axes we have in the Fusion 360, and let's suppose this is a circle and this is the center point of that circle. So when something is moving around that circle, it's called it revolved. And as you know, the total angle in a circle here is 300 degree. So when something is moved from this point, go all the way that circle and end it at that starting point, the total angle will be 360 degree. So for the revolve command in Fusion 360, basically we will make a sketch and then revolve that sketch around our axis. Let's suppose these are three axes. If we selected this xy plane, this is xy plane, which is in front in Fusion 360. If we draw a sketch on this plane, we can extrude it with the x-axis. The central axis of the sketch will be that axis. So let me show an example. Let's suppose you have this pulley and you want it to make by revolve. So to do that, you needed to observe it from this right plane, and you will find a sketch which is representing this pulley. Let's suppose you observe it and it will show it in like that. So you just needed that portion of that portion which is in front of you from right plane. So you will, for the revolve command, you don't add the full sketch like that form. You basically just add a half sketch, this portion of the sketch, and then revolve it with this axis, and it will become in the solid body, it will become the solid revolving around an axis. So I'm showing you an example. So this will be the cross section of the pulley which I show you. We just design this half sketch and revolve it around this axis, and that's what the, so we just draw a sketch like that which is representing the section of a pulley like that, and then we revolve it around this x-axis, and it will become a solid body as shown in the image I showed you before. So that is the concept of revolve, something revolving around a circle or from a center axis. There is different like type of the revolve command. So this sketch is given, and this will be the model of that sketch which is revolving around this axis. So to define it in Fusion 360, we just needed this half portion of that sketch. We will just draw a half portion. This construction I'm showing, we will make that half sketch. So for this sketch, we are going to design this portion of that sketch, and then we will make the revolve around that axis. So dimensions are given here. We will draw a sketch, this sketch from this point, this arc, this line, 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 and then again an arc. This way we are going to design this half circle. And as you see in that sketch, the constraints or relation are also showing on this sketch. This is parallel, this constraint we call collinear. There is this is we called horizontal, this constraint we called it vertical. There is a lot of constraint. This is again parallel, this is perpendicular, this is also perpendicular. So in the first introduction video I showed you I talked about these constraints. The concept of these constraints are very important. So if you have some confusion about these constraints, you can go there and watch the first 2-3 introduction lecture about it. So we are going to design this half sketch according to these dimension. So units are in centimeters. First step is that we are going to select the units. So go to and change the units to centimeters, click OK, and then click on create sketch. And for this model I am going to select this front plane and click on it. Now the front plane is in front of you. So first I am going to draw a reference line. Just draw a vertical line and then select this line and click construction. So this line will be converted into a dotted line, and this line is just for reference line. Then select this circle and draw a circle like that, and the dimension of this circle is 3 centimeter in diameter. As you know, I just draw the full circle, but we don't need it the full circle. I will make the trim the portion which we don't need it. So don't worry about this sketch dimension. And as you know, this dimension is given as 3 in diametral form. This symbol is for diameter. And then select a line and draw a line from here. The line must be in front of that center. If you don't select center, like if I draw a line from here, then like that, if we draw a line like that which is not facing this point, so nothing to worry about it. We can add a relation for them. We can drag it and move it here, but we can also add a horizontal vertical relation. Select this point and this point of that line, and it will become in a horizontal facing each other. And the again select line, and now I am going to draw this portion. So I'm just adding a rough sketch like that. We will give the dimension later. So then I am going to draw it like that and make it like zoom in or zoom out according to your requirement. So this line, basically this line we needed in a horizontal form, but mistakenly I added in some angle. So I am going to select this horizontal vertical relation and I am going to make it horizontal. And then I am going to select line tool and draw a line from this point to this point. So we added this. I'm just going to make it large, this reference line. So you know that I am zooming in or zooming out. You can do that by the middle mouse button of your mouse, and you can also zoom it from here. If you selected the zoom, then press the left click and you can drag it in that form to zoom in and zoom out. You can also pan it the location where you want it, which will be feasible for you. So this is just about some tools which can make it zoom in, zoom out, or you can also pan it. So now I am going to add the dimension. Just see the dimension from this center point to this dimension is 3.5, and the length of this line from this point of that arc to this is 2, and this total length is 5.5, and from this point to this point is 1.2, from this point to this it's 1.8, from this point to this it's 2.5, and from here to here it's 3. And there is also dimension given from this point, this one, from this one, and from here from this all dimension are given, which we will going to add it. Okay, so first thing is that I'm going to select the create dimension, and the dimension for from this point to this dimension is given as 3.5. So as you know, we added this whole sketch, so by adding the dimension it will make like the sketch sometime weird. So this dimension is 2, which is adding this dimension will over constrain the sketch, and that means we don't need it that dimension, we can just leave it that dimension. Okay, it's already 2 because 3, so here 1 point, it's 2. Okay, now other dimension is that from this to this 1.2, from this dimension to this it's 1.2 and 1.2, and dimension from here to here, this dimension is 1.8. okay, and this whole dimension from this line to this line, its whole dimension is 5.5. so as you know, the sketch become little bit weird, but no issue, we can just zoom in and select this point and move it in that direction. Oh, we needed that in that direction. So don't worry, if you made your sketch first and this type of weird things happen, you can like drag the things to make it like it was like here, but it is not our requirement, we needed it in that form like here. So now I am going to add some other dimensions, other sketch dimension. From this point to this it's 1, from this point to this it's 1, from this point to this is 1. So now I am going to add the dimensions for it. So select this sketch dimension from this point to this dimension is 1. okay, and again it make our sketch a little bit weird, so we needed to adjust that in that form, we needed that. And now again select the sketch dimension. I'm going to add this dimension. For dimension from here to here, it's given from top here to here, it's given as 3. Sketch dimension from this point to this line, it's 3. And again from this point to this dimension is also 1. okay, and from this point to this point, this dimension is also 1. We added that dimension. Now see, and so as you know, in this sketch, you know this line is parallel to this and this line is parallel to this, so we just added a parallel relation from this line and this line, and it will become like that. Then as you know, this circle is left, its diameter is 1.5, so I am going to select circle and draw a circle which have center on this point. As you see, when the color is turned to blue and a circle is showing, that means this is the common point of this line and this line. So select a center and add here, and dimension, this dimension is given as 1.5 diameter. It's 1.5 diameter. Now I am going to trim some portion which we don't need it, so go to modify, select trim, select this one, we don't need it, this portion and this portion we also don't need it, and this portion from here to here we also don't need it that, and again this portion we don't need it that. And as you know, this sketch is turned into blue, so that means it is like that form. It's showing when you move that circle, it will be in that form. So we needed to make this point and this point of center point of that arc or circle, and this point where that circle is ending, we needed to add a relation between them a horizontal vertical. So these 2 points must be on a horizontal line. So I'm going to select this line, this point and this point, and a horizontal relation is added between them. Now our sketch is fully defined. So what is left? This shape is left. So we needed to draw this rectangle. So as I talked about in previous video, we just needed half portion of that rectangle. We are just drawing the half portion of that sketch. So it's 1.5 and total length is 3, so divided by 2 it will be 1 point from this point to this, and its position is 2 point from the center. So draw a line like that. Again by mistake I add this line on some angle, so I needed to make them horizontal, and then select the sketch dimension. So this dimension is 1.5 and this dimension is also 1.5, the half of 3, and from this line to this origin its dimension is 2.5. So our sketch is now fully defined. We just needed to add another line to make it a close sketch. So select this line point and this point, it will be a closed profile. Make sure your profile is closed for the revolve command. So as you know, previously our sketch was not closed because this from this point to this point there is no line. The dotted line is showing it just for reference, it's not acting like a line. So that's why I added a line from this point to this point. So when you make a closed profile, some area will be turned into gray in a color, so that means this is a closed profile. So finish the sketch, go to isometric and revolve. When you go to revolve, you can see the definition of revolve, and under the revolve you needed to select the profile. Just select the profile which we needed that profile, and then select the axis on which axis you want to make the revolve. I'm going to select this y axis. So as you see, it is revolving around a axis. The sketch is revolved and make a solid body after revolving around it. So we don't need it full meaning the total 360 angle is revolving. This sketch will be revolved and add a solid body around 360 angle. So we needed to make it at angle, and for the angle we needed to select 300, which is already selected. So let's suppose I just click on that handle and I am like dragging it in that form around a circle. As you see, this handle of that sketch, this one is moving around a circle, and as you see what is happening with the model, it is adding the solid body around an central axis. And as you know, we selected the angle, that why now it's added a solid body for 150 angle. So now it's added 185 angle, now it's added 225 angle. That way the revolve command works. So hope so you understand what is the meaning of and how the revolve command is working. So for the angle, our requirement is to make a revolve around 300 degree, and when you revolve this sketch you can rotate. When you rotate this sketch, you see that in that shape it's revolving around that. So let's suppose we want to add it 180 degree, and this is the back of our sketch, this is 180 degree. So basically this sketch we added half sketch and make it revolve around the axis. Add it and 300 degree. So hope so you understand the concept of revolve for this video, and in the